I'll be blunt, the Church of Scientology ought to have their classification of religion revoked in the United States. This is on the grounds that by disrespecting its members, the government, and non-Scientologists, the Church of Scientology has proved itself to be detrimental to the United States of America. We wouldn't be the first ones to start challenging Scientology as a religion either. Germany has classified Scientology as an abusive business masquerading as a religion and nearly banned the organization entirely in 2007. In case you didn't know, Scientology's spiritual teachings work on a basis of Dianetics. Dianetics is a pseudoscience teaching that tries to remove the so-called thetans. To give some context on thetans, I offer the following South Park clip.
It all began 75 million years ago. Back then, there was a galactic federation of planets, which was ruled over by the evil Lord Xenu.
And they had elected a fellow by the name of Xemu, could be spelled X-E-M-U, to the supreme ruler.
Xenu thought his galaxy was overpopulated.
These planets averaged 178 billion human beings per planet. 178 billion. There were 250 billion on this planet. The name of this planet was Tigiak, and this is known as the bomb place, and this is the evil place. This is the place where they all got smashed.
And so he rounded up countless aliens from all different planets, and then had those aliens frozen.
The trick was to shoot somebody, disable somebody, very often a needle into a lung, and at the same time to hit him with frozen alcohol and glycol, which preparation is guaranteed to pick up a Thetan. All he had to do was pick him up and put him in a refrigerator, and they had him, boy. As he tried to exteriorize from the body, there he was, frozen.
The frozen alien bodies were loaded onto Xenu's galactic cruisers, which looked like DC-8s, except with rocket engines.
And they threw them into collection points, boxed them up in boxes, threw them into space planes, which are the exact DC-8s. The DC-8 airplane is the exact copy of the space plane of that day.
The cruisers then took the frozen alien bodies to our planet, Earth, and dumped them into the volcanoes of Hawaii.
And they took these people in boxes and so forth, and they dumped them, and then they set off hydrogen bombs on the top of each primary volcano there is on this particular planet.
The aliens were no longer frozen. They were dead. The souls of those aliens, however, lived on. At the dawn of man, the souls finally found bodies which they could grab onto. They attached themselves to all mankind, which still to this day causes all our fears, our confusions, and our problems.
Granted, this is being taken out of context and isn't the whole story behind it, as clearly stated by this kind man.
There's a small amount of people who are talking about what they think Scientology is. They spread it on the internet, and then other people read it and they think, oh, that must be what it is. Which is why I say people really should just come into the church and see for themselves, find out what it is, and then they can make their own decisions. Read a book by L.Ron Hubbard. Pick up a book like Scientology, Fundamentals of Thought, and you can see what Scientology is, what our beliefs are.
We need to keep in mind that we are seeing this as an outsider, where most spiritual teachings would seem strange, like for example the Jewish golem, a man made out of clay, or a man in the Bible chatting it up with a burning bush, or the Prophet Muhammad marrying a 6-year-old at the age of 53. Regardless, Scientologists believe these Thetan alien souls prevent people from becoming more ethical, more aware, happier, and saner. Eliminating Thetans in itself would be a noble goal that I have absolutely no issue with whatsoever. But the way that the organization of Scientology goes about attempting to achieve this has shown time and time again to be immoral and harmful to society. For example, Scientology uses the premise of auditing. Put simply, auditing is becoming more pure in exchange for money. The higher path of existence you wish to have, the more you must pay them. According to Scientology, the more you take part in higher levels of auditing, the more likely you will be cured of allergies, asthma, eye troubles, ulcers, migraines, some coronary difficulties, arthritis, leukemia, homosexuality, which is apparently an ailment, and even death. If what they say is true, keeping this cure to everything under the sun to themselves is immoral. If it isn't true, then they are simply swindling their followers out of money. It should be noted that Scientology has a successful drug rehabilitation program known as Narconon, With over 200 Narconon centers in over 40 nations, more than 250,000 are now living drug-free lives through these programs, while an estimated 18 million more have been reached through Narconon drug re-education services. Fair game is when a supposed suppressor of Scientology is attemptedly destroyed one way or another by Scientology and its followers. Included in the use of fair game is the whole. The infamous whole is a compound in which high-ranking officials in Scientology are taken for sometimes years at a time to amend the damage they've done as accused suppressors. I will admit that fair game has not been an official part of Scientology since the late 1960s and has never been put back into place within the group, but the practices within fair game have continued indefinitely. One famous instance of fair game happening after fair game was taken out of place was Operation Snow White during the 1970s, when Scientologists under order of their organization committed infiltration, wiretapping, and theft of documents in many government offices, most notably those of the U.S. Internal Revenue Service. After blackmailing officials, Scientology cemented itself as a tax-exempt religion in the United States of America. So despite misuse of medicine, criminal activity, and having a personal illegal prison, it's still a religion, even though the creator of the religion said that it is not a religion. So why is it still? I don't know. Let's change that, America.